No, it's bad?
Yeah, no,
it's bad?
like that. Yeah, it was bad.
So you went quieter.
Yeah, well, just we're close and you got
But are we good right now?
Yeah, this is great.
This is great.
Okay,
this is
perfect.
Hey everybody, this is the Swizz Pesci show, and we're excited to be here and talk a little nonsense. Joe, you got something to say to the kids?
You know the vibes. We're here to have a good time, talk some shit, talk some sports. You know what I do. We're here for the good vibes and the good bitches. No, I'm just playing. We're not here for the bitches. We're here for the sports, guys.
The sport. That's what it is.
And we'll get into a couple other things after. It's not all sports, but we're live, baby.
We're live. It's unfiltered. We're here. You know, this isn't a stage show. You're getting genuine Pesci, Giuseppe, Square. You're getting Swazzy Dazzy, Swizz the Whiz. You're getting it all. You're getting it up front, uncensored.
Raw, uncut, dirty dog dicking it. You know what we do. We're just.
And speaking of dirty dogging it, let's jump right into it. We already know what time of year it is, folks.
Man.
It is fantasy football season.
No way. And, we were gonna go that one first. All right.
So,
well, all right. Well, if we're gonna go over mine, like me and your game,
yeah.
Up front, your guys had a great week. Dak, 403 yards with 3 TDs. He got you 27.42. Joe Mixon had a great day against Minnesota, 127 on the fucking ground with a TD. DeAndre Hopkins, not to say that's not a good day at the office, but that's kind of as expected. You know what I mean? He goes out there every day. He's arguably top 2 receiver on anybody's list. If he's not number 1 or 2, your list
He was my second round pick.
Yeah, your list is wrong if he's not number 1 or 2 on it. Amari Cooper, granted they lost. Fantastic game out of him, although I think Dak threw the ball a little too much, but we'll go into that when we look at my team. Gronk, listen, if Gronk can play half as good as he did in the Dallas game for the rest of the season, I mean, he's looking at like comeback player of the year or something. You know, he had a really good game, really contributed. And then your defense was, you know, like nobody stood out on your defense. And then as far as your bench, the only thing you could have did was nothing. So you really couldn't have did anything. Although, no. Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis had 5 catches, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns in a 14-19 loss with a new rookie quarterback. I got to give it to him. I didn't think Corey Davis was all that. I'm not going to lie. But with a rookie quarterback, you getting those numbers, granted, they don't really have a lot of weapons right now with the Jets.
Right.
I saw one of the other top receivers, I think, was Barrios. So I'm not, somebody's got to catch the ball. But I got to give respect where respect is due. Now let's jump right into gassed up shorty.
Well, hang on, because I want to double back to Derrick Henry on your team, because we only got to 10 points.
Yeah.
40 or 58 yards on the ground. That's like, I mean, come on.
What's crazy, I think, is he was my first round pick, and he had the least amount of points on my entire team.
Yeah. Let me take a look at what happened that game. Well, that's what. Well, we don't have to right now, but yeah, I mean, damn.
I got an update, Joe, just now. Someone is interested in Derrick Henry, and it's, if you're listening, Buffalo Braves, Byron has noted now that he's interested in Derrick Henry. I can tell you firmly, Byron, unless your offer is out of this world, you ain't getting them. So don't ask me.
You ain't getting them. He said nobody's getting them.
But yeah, we can jump into that.
Yeah, well,
Arizona beat Tennessee handingly, 38-13. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely not expecting that. I don't know about you.
No, I was not expecting that either. I'm trying to pull up the phone.
Not only did Hopkins have those numbers, but he's not on one of our teams, so I can't pull it up. But Christian Kirk also had phenomenal numbers that game too. Let me click it. Christian Kirk had. Where is it? I don't know, but I know he had a great game. So it wasn't all Hopkins. I mean, Kyler Murray was spreading the ball around pretty well.
Well, Kyler Murray had a great game. He was, like you said, spreading the ball around.
Yep.
I cannot find the game.
Kyler Murray did get started in our league. Stackman started him. He got him 33.56. 5 total touchdowns, 289 passing yards, and 1 pick. in the victory. So,
Oh, so now that I'm looking at it, though, I mean, Chris Jones, he had 5 sacks. Or, what's his name? Yeah, Chris Jones, right?
For who?
On the fucking Cardinals.
Yeah, but who had him, I'm saying?
Oh, no. I'm looking at it on ESPN. I'm trying to double back to Derrick Henry why he had a poor game. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind.
No, you're
good. Sure. But no, that defensive front was obviously on shit. But all right,
let's get right into, just so we can keep updating the people, because this is a weekly show, I should say, not a podcast.
Right.
So right now, currently, if the playoffs ended today,
in our fantasy league, which is called the Day One Fantasy League, this is our 3rd season. Joey has been to the champion. Joey has won. He won the first year, right, Joe? Yes, sir.
Joey was our first year champion. He won nothing but bragging rights because at that point we didn't do cash or trophies.
So I feel like I'm owed something at this point. I don't know about you guys listening, but I feel like kind of.
You guys can chime in if you think we should throw Joey a little sum for his tries. He did also make the playoffs last year as well. Me and him were both first round bounces, but he did make the playoffs.
It'd be like that.
So we're split into 2 conferences, and I'm first place in the conference with a bye if it ended today. My brother, Gordy, he's first place in the other conference, and then the wild card teams as of right now is Devin Rose, Stack Simpson, Marco Loiacono, and Nazi Wazi. So a lot of season that he played. We just want to give you a little update.
He's only doing this because he fired.
No. Next week when I get my ass whooped, we'll do the same thing. You guys will hear about it, and Joey will talk smack.
93 points in fantasy this week, guys.
It was a good week.
Only talking about playoffs because he's currently got a bye week right now.
Now, before we get off fantasy, let's go into who's your sleeper that maybe you would recommend to people pick up on the waiver wire. Do you have anybody in mind that you would say would be
waiver wire?
Yeah, like a sleeper that you may think, and then we're gonna also after this go with who we think's busts after week 1, and I think one of them's on your team named Zeke Elliott, but we can get to that in a moment.
Well, we might have to talk about that when we go into NFL Week 1 because my boy Zeke really let me down this week. But is that his fault? Who knows? Do you have your sleeper? Because I think my sleeper is kind of like outlandish a little bit.
Okay.
Might not be the best sleeper.
I do have a sleeper.
Okay, who's your sleeper?
So it depends on if you're in a 10 team or a 12 or more. But if you're in a 10 team, I'm looking at it right now, Sterling Shepard. To me, they lost.
Come on, it's there.
I lost it, but
Okay.
Sterling Shepard is basically the number 1 option
Right.
for the Giants. Now, Daniel Jones is shoddy, but to me, he's a guy where if their offense is clicking, he's going to score 20.
Right.
He's still kind of young. He's in his prime. If Sterling Shepard's out there, that's who I would say go and grab. Giuseppe, outlandish, let's hear it.
It might only be because he had a really good game this week, but Tyrod Taylor, my man, he had a great game, and I was not a believer when he was on the Bills, but something clicked in that game, and he just looked really good. So I don't know if it's because he's been off for so long, and he was just like, I gotta come in there and like fucking kill it this game, or if it was just like, he's been out for so long, this is what I've been able to do this whole time. I've been put in bad situations where, not for nothing, the Bills didn't really have a good team when he was there. And then as they started to get better, they got Josh Allen to kind of, moved away from Tyrod Taylor, obviously. And then he went to the Browns, played, 4 or 5 games. Baker came in and won the next 6 out of however many.
Well, no, you know what it was? With that situation, didn't he?
He got hurt.
Injury.
That's when he was on the Chargers because they weren't going to play Herbert.
Because I do remember it was the same thing with Cleveland. Is he was the starter day 1, but like you said, he got replaced pretty quick.
Yeah, he might have got injured or they might have lost 2 games in a row or something.
Yeah.
But then again, on the Chargers, something happened. He was on the sideline and
He had a pierced lung.
Punctured a lung.
Yeah. And
so
he never got the job back.
Maybe
Surgery was lighting it up.
Of course. So maybe this is what he's had this whole time, and we just don't know. Again, this is an outlandish pick, and that might just be because I'm a little unprepared for today's show, guys. But that is what it is. We just kind of go as we go. But yeah,
I don't think it's too
Sterling Shepard's a
outlandish,
great pick.
only because he is also a mobile quarterback. Not as mobile as some of the other top fantasy guys, but you do have that potential of getting rushing touchdowns, which are worth 6 in most leagues.
Yeah.
Now, because I started with this one, do you want to say your bust? Who you think seriously let down week 1?
Well, as easy as it is for me to be a homer and say Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to be honest. That's my pick. Like, what happened? What was it? 3 plays, 2 interceptions. He was visibly laughing on the sideline, and they're down by 30. It's not you're the reigning you're the reigning MVP, and he looks terrible. Brady's 7 years older than him, and not for nothing, but he doesn't look that much he doesn't look like he's old. But Rodgers looks like he's 50 out there. He's not.
Yeah.
It was not. Man, dude, I don't even. And I didn't even watch the game. I unfortunately didn't have my cable figured out at the time, so I didn't even get to watch the game. But I have full confidence he's gonna come in and whack Detroit's fucking cheeks next week. But he should come in and fucking beat the Lions. But the Saints, that's one of those games where you're not definitely supposed to win. But you don't get blown out like that. You gotta go and contend. You gotta go compete. They lost by literally 33 points. It was 36-3 or 32-3.
Something of that.
Yeah, almost 30, if not over 30. That's not good. That's fucking terrible. And again, you're the reigning MVP. What's going on?
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good one. I do agree with you. I think that's better than mine. I was gonna say Derrick Henry, another one of my players.
Right.
Only because 10 points, season opener. Arizona's not really known for their defense.
I mean, Chris Jones, though, bro, you have 5 sacks.
I know.
That's pressure.
How many attempts did he have? They made some good additions,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, that's not their bread and butter. They
Right.
got D-Hop, Murray, Kirk. Their bread and butter is mine. It's not me.
It's Boz.
It's Boz. Ladies and gentlemen, Boz is getting a call.
We're using his laptop.
We're using the laptop to record the show here.
So just quickly looking at fantasy.
Yep.
Julio Jones had 6 points. I don't know if he got hurt. And then George Kittle, 10 points against Detroit.
Yeah.
Is that Jimmy Garoppolo being bad, or I don't know? Because I felt like that maybe we needed to pick at least one other person that wasn't on our team.
Yeah, you're right.
But and then Cordell.
Well, Zeke's another one. I didn't want to say Zeke because I don't want to throw it at you, but if we're gonna go off of top guys that disappointed, Zeke's definitely on that list.
Yeah, but all right. Well, then we're gonna bounce right into the next joint because we're gonna talk about that game.
Let's go a little bit out of order. Let's do the NFL while we're on it, and we'll get to the actual NFL and steer away from fantasy a little bit. Go with what you were going to say?
So, my thing with that game is I watched the majority of that game.
Which game are we talking about?
The Tampa Bay Cowboys game, season opener. And he had, 11 attempts. He touched the ball 11 times.
Who are you talking about, Zeke?
Zeke Elliott. He is now. Granted, he hasn't had the best last 2 years, but he's still arguably one of the better running backs in the league.
If you said he's not a top 10, that's a real tough argument to make. So, yeah.
Right, exactly. So diving into it.
I'm looking at Zeke's numbers right now. 11 carries for 33 yards. I mean. I agree, like you said, the usage could have been different, but you're averaging 3 yards a carry, flat. Why? You've already had over 10 carries. Then you got to steer away from
the game, though. That's
for
the whole game.
I know.
How much? He's got to get a flow, and you have two receivers that Amari Cooper at 139, and then CeeDee Lamb at 104. So, Dak had 403 for the game. So, I'm not saying, but he also had 58 attempts. But he better go out and have over 400
forget about the yards. They scored, what? It was 30 points. It was, what, 32-30? What was the final?
29-31.
Scored 29 points. In
Right.
the NFL, if you score 29 points, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win.
Right.
Okay? They lost by a last-second field goal. Tom Brady, we've seen him do it for 20-something years.
But, oh my God, that bullshit. Clearly offensive pass interference.
Absolutely.
Arm, not fully extended, but arm was extended, and it clearly
It wasn't
affected
as
the
clear
defender.
as some of the things we've seen over the years.
Right, that's
But
basically
to me, yeah, I agree. It
Yeah.
should have been called.
Yeah, it should have been called. Absolutely. That's just them fucking the
Yeah,
soul on
yeah,
Tom
which,
Brady.
yeah, that's nothing new for us Bills fans over here, but,
Yeah, but,
it is what it is.
End of story. I would have liked to see Zeke get a little bit more, touches. Who are you playing next week? I don't know what, bro. I'm on ESPN and I go to the scores and it gives me all the scores for the baseball games. No,
Well, then we'll talk baseball.
I don't have anything relatively nice to say about baseball, with the exception of I saw
They're
the
playing the
Yankees
Chargers at
were doing
4:25.
really good, and now they're trash again.
All right,
So
we'll
that's-
relax. Pump the brakes.
Hang on, I'm just saying. That's what I saw.
Let's go to teams. We're going just off the team, win-loss. Who are you most surprised about?
I have it now. So one of the things
Oh,
that I was
there we
prepared
go.
on.
He's on his stuff.
So the first one on my list was, and this might again be because I'm from here, but the Steelers beating the Bills. I mean, Big Ben did not have a good day. So
The defense played well. The
Like-
Bills' defense played well.
So is it? Could you watch the game?
Yeah.
You were there. Could Josh Allen just not punch it in? Granted, they had 4 fumbles in total, and he recovered one of them, but he had 3. Or he had 2 and recovered 1. But could he not punch it in? Was it every time they got? Because I didn't watch the game again. Like I said, when they got to the red zone, was it just so happened that 2 times they got to the red zone he fumbled it, or what happened in that game? Because that surprised me, because I have Josh Allen as at least top 3 for MVP this year.
Yeah.
Not even close.
I agree.
He's gonna be
and I'll
contending
tell
for
you,
it. But this game does not show that.
it was your boys. The trenches. The offensive line was non-existent.
Okay.
Non-existent. Deion Dawkins got called for 3 holding calls himself. Not to mention, Feliciano got called for holding. I mean, it was bad.
Mm.
And granted, Steelers do have a good defensive line. TJ Watt's the highest paid defensive player in the league now.
Right.
But 3 offensive holding calls and your left tackle, and he wasn't even matched up with Watt. Watt was on Darrell Williams' side at right tackle. So, I don't know.
Who they have over Feliciano?
Hayward. Hayward baked him a few times.
Okay.
He baked him a few times. But
That's fair.
still, I mean, I can't even get mad at one player. It was the whole offensive line was terrible, Joe. I haven't seen them look this bad in a long time, and we're finally healthy because Cody Ford started the game, and he missed all that time last year. He missed, I think, the last 12 weeks with season-ending surgery. So he was at right guard, Feliciano was at left guard, Morse was at center. It was Dawkins and Williams at tackles. That's what we wanted. That's what we paid them for, and they were awful, absolutely awful. Now,
It starts in the trenches, bro. I've been preaching that for years.
okay. Another thing I wanted to say. I was gonna say the Bills, but just to give another, opposing
Point of
view.
view,
Yeah. Another thing that I was surprised about was Green Bay.
Yeah.
Just like you said. Aside from Aaron Rodgers, they gave up 38 points? What was it? Let me see. 38 points they gave up. I like Jameis Winston, and I think that he can sling it.
Mm.
But 38 points, his first game.
I mean, he
Mike
was
Thomas
super-
isn't playing?
and he
Joe,
was
Mike
super-
Thomas isn't even
And he
playing.
was super efficient, too. He was
I mean,
super
come
efficient.
on.
Yeah, bro. And not for
They
nothing.
lost Latavius Murray.
Well, I was just going to say, not for nothing, they rushed as a team for 171 yards.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's unacceptable. Rodgers playing terrible, that's obviously part of it too, but you give up 38 points to the Saints when they just went through a quarterback transition for the first time in 15, 20
Yeah,
years.
however long.
I don't know. Well, let's move along. Teams to watch. Give me your team to watch for the season. Who do you think is your sleeper team that really could make a playoff push right now?
Well, I hate it because I don't have the, I don't have fucking cable. I didn't watch this shit this week.
So you want me to go first so you can
Yeah,
do a little
yeah.
bit? I'm going with, and you know I like this team. I like everything that they've been doing for a long time. I'm going Colts. Wentz had a bad first game, but I think once he starts to get more comfortable with Reich and they really get going, I truly believe that the Colts have a really good shot to win the division. I really do, especially with what Tennessee did this week. I think it's theirs to lose. Jacksonville, you saw they struggled. That was a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Houston, Tyrod, okay, but they're in sell mode.
Yeah.
They're in sell mode in a rebuild.
Right.
They have a problem with Watson. Tennessee got blown out. I really think that if Wentz gets going and he's even 75% of what he was in his prime, this Colts team is built for success. Offensive line, defensive line, they have receiving depth. T.Y. literally took a pay cut to stay with this team for a reason. That's my team to watch.
Okay. All right. Great points. Great points. And man, to win the division, I think they can win the division. I'm really not sold on Carson Wentz. I hate him.
I'm not either. You know me. I'm not sold on Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
I think he's a terrible
the system
quarterback.
might
He's
bring out the best of what
very
we can see.
fragile. But no, like, okay, all the cards are lining up for me that I could go with that. I can agree with that. I don't want to say it's my sleeper team or team to watch, but did you see how well the Browns played against the Chiefs?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it, fans. I'll tell you right now, I should have said it. I knew it.
Did you see how good they played though, bro?
I'm shocked that they lost, honestly.
Like, really?
Baker looked better in that first half than I truly, hand to God, I'm not a Baker fan, that I've ever seen him play, was how crisp he looked in that first half.
And you know me, I've been a Baker fan forever.
Oh, yeah.
But the last 2 years, I've put Patrick Mahomes on this pedestal. Like, he is.
As have I.
With the exception of Aaron Rodgers, I think he's God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't call Rodgers Godgers for no reason. But, you know, he had going back to Baker, he had 321 yards in the air. He was 21 for 28, so he was very efficient, and a 97.5 passer rating. And they. Not that it's bad, but they rushed for 153 yards, so they got it done on both sides, of the offense. But they did all of that without Odell Beckham Jr. So you throw him back in that offense, you're adding at least to his 304 or his 321 passing on the day. You're adding at least another 70 to 80 to that, and that's if
Landry had a big game. I thought he kind of stepped up.
5 receptions on 5 targets, right? And he's got 71 yards. No TDs, though. Everything was on the ground for them. So I wish Baker, fantasy-wise, I wish he might have got, a touchdown.
Yeah.
But that's all right, though, because they still had he hit Njoku on a 43. He hit Schwartz on a 44, and Landry caught a 32. So it's not like he wasn't airing it out. He was airing it out. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. I think that's going to be a team to watch for sure. Not to say it's my all in all sleeper, but again, that's just because I'm super unprepared for today, guys. Yeah. But that's that's what I'll go with for the time being, because and you're playing the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs have been elite for 2 years now, 3 years.
You lose by what? They lost by 3 or
3.
Something?
Yeah,
you lose by 3 against the Chiefs. It sucks
good.
because I felt like
4,
a game you could have won.
4.
They lost by 4. It's a game you could have won, so in that aspect it sucks. But at the same time, to start the season off and put up that performance, it gives you kind of a little boost. Not to say you take the wins from losses, but that's to me a win. You kept up with a team that has been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years.
Yeah. And they're playing the Texans next week, so that could be.
Yeah, it's a good game to bounce back from.
Yeah. See, that'll be Tyrod's test right there. All right, these guys just went up
with
against
Cleveland's
the
defensive
Chiefs.
line. Yeah. If he plays well against Cleveland next week, then you got me sold. Until then, I'm still Tyrod from the Bills, game manager. Okay. So quick, because we're running kind of long, just because it's our first show. We're excited. We like talking, but college football quickly. Ohio State got beat, and they might not be able to recover from that. I say that because the new rankings got released, and they dropped. Ohio State is not in the top 4. They went back to the original format. Top 4, not the original, but the old format.
Yeah.
Top 4 make it. Ohio State's out. I'm just going to tell you because I know you haven't been catching up yet because it's early in the season, but my team to watch, I know this might sound crazy, I'm an ACC guy, Virginia Tech. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
They're 2-0, okay? They've only given up in their first 2 games, and this is college football, they gave up 14 points and 10 points. College football is always high scoring. I mean, like, there's games that are 40, 50, 60 points.
Defense is
Virginia Tech is playing, like, hard-nosed football. They've climbed up on the rankings. I think they're all the way up to, no, let me pull it up right now. I think they were 16 or 17. Let me pull it up. Yeah, Virginia Tech has climbed. So Oregon is now 4 because they beat Ohio State.
Right.
Virginia Tech is already up to 15th. They went up another 4 spots. They were 19th from that huge win week 1. Then they won this week. Now they're up to 15th. They're 2-0. I mean, first North Carolina lost. Okay, so that dropped them all the way. North Carolina right now, they went to number 24, but they did get a bounce back win this week, so they're up to 21. And then Ohio State lost. They're down to 9th. They went from 3rd to 9th. Clemson already has a loss. You're looking at 3, we'll even just say 2 power teams that have already got a loss week 2. Clemson and Ohio State. It's wide open this year. I think you're going to see this will be the first year in a long time where a college that usually doesn't make the playoffs makes it. And it could be Virginia Tech. That's all I'm saying.
I don't watch enough college sports in general, let alone college football, to back your argument up. But 10 and 14 points.
That's good defense.
That's great defense. That's great defense. So I'll trust your judgment, and if that's who you're looking for.
And Oklahoma, you're 2-0. You're doing well.
I mean, Boomer's
doing well. They went up a spot this week. They went from 4 to 3rd. That's good. Now, moving on. We got one more thing I want to get to before we close it up. Is the NBA. We're getting ready. All right, it's already middle of September. You know, it's usually an October start.
Right.
You know, camp starting, preseason starting. Let's just go back for a second. Give me your best and worst off seasons, each team. Best off season and worst.
So, I mean, I think it's clear as day who's had the best off season. And it's LeBron James. Like, it's not the Los Angeles Lakers. It's not Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, whoever the fuck they got in the front office. It's clearly LeBron James. That man is arguably the best general manager in the league by far. I heard your neck crack on the sound. That was kind of cringy. But like you add Russell Westbrook, that's automatically, as much as I hate Russell Westbrook, that's automatically making your team significantly better. They add a whole bunch of veterans on minimums with Trevor Ariza, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Rajon Rondo. Wayne Ellington, I think, I don't think he's on a veteran minimum, but I think he's on one of those like lower tier contracts. And then you got Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk for your solid young guys that you bring in as well. Malik Monk played great in Charlotte, if anybody was watching him. So I think he's going to be a really great addition coming off of their bench. Same thing with Kendrick Nunn. And then their starting 5 that they roll out. You got Westbrook. I don't know. They have a couple of different options that they could run out there too. But you got Westbrook, you got LeBron, you got AD, and you got Dwight Howard as your starting 5. That's pretty fucking valid if you ask me. You know, they might even throw Malik Monk out there.
You got
Melo.
Start.
And Melo. And fucking Melo. I don't know if he's going to start, but me and Boz talked about that. But, and then to take away from what they lost, they didn't really lose a whole lot because you add Russell Westbrook and then you lose Kuzma, Montrez, and KCP. Montrez had a piss-poor season in Los Angeles. On the Lakers, he had a great season when he was repping the red, white, blue with the Clippers, throw the setup. But, he did not play well that season. And then Kyle Kuzma, we kind of don't really know where he's at because he got thrown into an Anthony Davis kind of ruled Lakers where he was part of that young core. I think they kind of disrespected him a little bit And he didn't perform, so that might be his fault, but they didn't really give him opportunity to fail. They kind of were just like, all right, you're failing, so this is where we're at right now. And then, I mean, they lost Caruso, Markieff Morris, Dennis Schroeder, Ben McLemore. None of those guys, with the exception of Caruso, really made any impact on their team. So they didn't really lose anybody, is what I'm saying.
Caruso sucks, but you know what?
I don't think he sucks. I think he honestly...
No, I'm saying it sucks to lose him.
Oh, yeah. He's a really good up-and-coming player.
I'm surprised they let him go, honestly.
Yeah, well, I think it's just that there's no possible way they could have offered him anything close to what the Bulls offered him.
And that gets right into my best offseason, Chicago.
That's a great one.
Chicago, they did everything they could possibly do to be successful. If you look at their team pre-Vucevic trade, and look at it now, it's night and day. Levine, Vucci,
Lonzo.
DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo, Caruso. Do I go on?
He said.
Do I even go on? They bring in all these players, and I honestly think if they don't make a top 5 seed in the East, they need to fire the entire coaching staff.
Top 5 might be stretching that, but...
No, not in the East.
Not
in the East. Philly's going to lose Ben Simmons. We don't know what they're going to get for him because his stock keeps going down.
Yeah.
So they might not get a big package for him, right? Miami, they spent a lot of money on Lowry. I don't know if he's going to be with
But they got Lowry, they got PJ Tucker, they got fucking Morris, Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, Duncan Robinson, like that team. They got.
I know, like I'm saying.
That team is Bam, like fucking dude.
Jimmy's not getting any younger.
That team is fucking great.
Worst offseason, your Clippers. I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
Do you want to win or do you not want to win? Do you remember 2 years ago when they brought Paul George in and every single person in the world said the Clippers are winning the championship?
Yes.
The Clippers are winning the championship.
Yes.
They have everybody. They have everybody.
Yeah.
They're winning the championship.
Yeah.
Then last year.
We didn't lose anybody. We're still winning.
Clippers, we're probably not going to win the championship, but we're going to be competing with LA this year. Now this year, nobody's even thinking the Clippers are a top 4 team in the West.
Yeah.
Not even top 4. You look at Denver, Murray getting healthy. That Jokic just got
MVP season. Okay. Yeah.
The Lakers, we already obviously the Lakers.
The Mavericks,
the Suns, the Jazz,
the Warriors. Like Klay Thompson's coming back. Well, like yeah, it's gonna
even
be
Portland.
No,
you don't think Portland?
No. Damian Lillard. And
I think Powell was a huge addition, and I think that should take time for them to.
D'Lo and CJ McCollum, I am sold that they cannot work together. I'm sold. You have 2 all-star caliber players, and they've gotten so far in the playoffs because one supports the other, but they've never played well together. Like when the infamous Russell Westbrook, Paul George, when they were on the Thunder, step back. Dame played really well that series, and then CJ carried him the next series into Denver, and then they got swept by Golden State. I just don't think that they'll ever work out, so I don't really put them on my radar.
Okay.
But going back to the Clippers, having a really bad offseason, I think that they are definitely contending for one of the worst off seasons. But as a Clippers fan, I'm going to talk about what I think that they did good. I think adding Eric Bledsoe gives your bench a little bit of relief if he doesn't start. If he starts, then our bench might be in a little bit of trouble. But
he's gonna start, and I tell you that because he lost Beverly.
Yeah, but I really like Terrence Mann.
Yeah.
I don't think he's starter caliber at the moment. So
you're right. No, you're right. Terrence Mann might end up getting a start. They lost Rondo and Beverly.
Yeah, and they added Justice Winslow. Now, he hasn't played well as of recently, but you know me, dog. I'm a fan of the no-name small forward. Shout out Sam Decker.
Sam Decker.
I like the Justice Winslow pickup, but they didn't, with the exception of Pat Bev and Rondo, they didn't really lose anybody. So like, they lost 2 point guards. So you.
I don't think it's really about who they lost. I think it's about who they didn't get.
Didn't get. No, that's exactly what it is. There were so many people out there. Like the fact that the Lakers were able to sign that many people, and the Clippers can't go pick up fucking Trevor Ariza just to make our bench a little bit deeper, Wayne Ellington wasn't on anybody's radar.
Dude, Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, where did he go? Is he back on the Lakers? Is he?
The Knicks.
Oh, he's on.
He was on the Knicks last year.
Yeah,
we lost Reggie Bullock, right? And I'm not gonna lie, he fit perfectly with the Knicks. 3-and-D guy. He had a very high 3-point percentage for the season.
Mavericks.
That's a huge pickup for them because they needed that. They needed shooting because your boy Josh Richardson fell off a cliff for some reason. But
my boy.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
But let me talk about my Knicks, just because I'm gonna go quick. I think the Knicks had a good offseason. Everyone thinks we overpaid people. That's fine. That's fine. But at some point, you have to see what you did the previous year and say, are we buyers or are we sellers? And I think that we did enough last year to show we're buyers. With the new coaching staff, with Julius Randle finally coming out of his shadow, you bring in Fournier. I think he replaces Bullock. I don't think he upgrades. I won't say he's an upgrade. I need to see. I know he has the potential to be, but I won't say it yet. But you bring in Kemba Walker. The Knicks have needed a good point guard. We've been drafting bum point guards. Frank Ntilikina needs to get sold in to any team that'll take him. Like I will.
Well, nobody wants him. That's what it is.
That's the problem. We can't get rid of him.
Yeah.
We cannot get rid of him. We need to trade him for. We'll give you him in a second rounder. Like we need to get rid of him. He can't be a point guard on this team anymore. Derrick Rose is going to win 6th Man of the Year. It's going to happen this year because you bring Kemba to start. D Rose to 6th man. Right now we have the winning formula. We've got shooting, we've got penetration, we've got defense. I think the Knicks will end up getting the 3rd seed in the East, have a phenomenal year, better than last year, and we're at least making it out of the first round. I promise you that. The Hawks had a good little Cinderella story, which was great, and I was rooting for the Hawks towards the end, but they're not beating the Knicks next year. The Knicks made too many good moves the Hawks couldn't keep up with, and it's going to get real deal in the Holyfield. New York Knicks, Swazzy Dazzy, it's coming. Let's get it.
So my only thing with that is if Kemba Walker couldn't get it done with Boston, what the fuck makes you think he's going to
Culture in Boston was shot. Look at Boston and what happened to their season. You got all those good players, and you couldn't do nothing?
Jaylen Brown went out for the season. He was averaging over 20. Him and Jason Tatum were both averaging over. They both might have been averaging over 22.
Dude, your coach just left you to go be the GM. He didn't want to be the number one. I know you don't have to be a rah-rah coach, Joe, but we talked about it when it was going on. The man can't motivate a group of men.
No,
great coach.
I know that.
That's not what they needed.
But
I'm not blaming Kemba. Kemba had injury issues, and he had to take a huge step back. The Knicks, he's going to be our second option. But Randall, him. Before it was Tatum, Brown, him / Marcus Smart. Him over Smart. I won't even say that. Smart's more of a defensive.
But even then, the Knicks have had Kemba Walker on their radar for 3 years.
That's why I'm saying it's
why is it good now?
Timing.
Timing
is everything.
I'm okay. I'm not gonna.
I'm telling
I'm not
you,
gonna
cannot
shit on
shoot
it.
down the Knicks this year. You got to admit, those 2 guys, Fournier, Kemba, 2 Boston players.
My fucking bedroom was blue and orange. Okay,
He's got it on tape.
I'm never gonna shit on the Knicks, bro. But I just don't think Kemba Walker is your answer there. Like if you guys could trade it for Lonzo. Lonzo and Julius, but like you guys need a dominant point guard to feed Julius Randle and take the attention off the paint.
D Rose is your penetrator.
Your penetrator.
Kemba, when he's on, he can shoot.
Barely had a very
when he was in Charlotte, he was popping threes.
In Charlotte though, and he's old, man.
He's not that old.
I'm just saying. I don't think that was your guys' answer. I'm not.
So what do you put? What do you? Okay, who do you think?
I'm not gonna turn
top 3 seeds in the West. Who are they? At the end of the season this year.
Top 3 in order.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I'm putting the Warriors at 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Yeah. I They have, well, I'm not going to go into why for each of them, but Klay Thompson is back, baby. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Los Angeles Lakers at 2. Obviously, their team is fucking stacked, and it's LeBron James. He could be the 8th seed, and he's going to make his way to the finals somehow. Like, it's just almost inevitable. And then you kind of really have a toss-up for 3. I'm going to put, my toss-up is going to be the Clippers just because Kawhi is, you know, a top 3 player in the league, and when LeBron retires, he'll be top 2 to KD. And they're going to split that number 3 spot with the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
They didn't really lose anybody. DeAndre Ayton had a great postseason. If he can carry that over into the next season, Chris Paul, reborn again, and Devin Booker, obviously, I don't got to talk about him. He's Devin fucking Booker.
I'm going Warriors at 1.
Oh, but it was bold when I said it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, now you talked me into it.
Oh, well,
I'm
there you
going
go.
Warriors at 1. I'm going Utah at 2.
Okay, I forgot all
Very
about
good
Utah.
regular season team, and I
Yeah.
know they got a fire under their ass, especially with how things ended.
Yeah.
Utah 2. At 3, I'm going to go the Lakers, even though I really think it's going to be either the Lakers or Dallas for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the Lakers only because I feel like they're deeper now, because all those bombs they had last year, when it came crunch time, they couldn't do nothing. I mean, they couldn't make a shot to save their life.
Yeah.
Watching their games was miserable.
Dennis Schroeder was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the
Supposed to be
whole
your 6th man.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. I'll start with the East. My 1 seed's Brooklyn. It's not even close. It's
Obviously.
not even close for me.
Obviously.
Brooklyn. 2's tough because, like I said, I think Philly's going to drop a little.
Yeah,
Unless they end up getting a real good package.
if they get an upgrade in terms of what they can collectively bring
Yeah.
back in for Ben Simmons, yeah. But if they lose him, they'll probably drop a little bit.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Boston's going to have a rebound year with the new colors. So I'm going to go Boston at 2. I'm going Knicks at 3.
Okay, I like that.
Atlanta at 4. I give Atlanta some respect. I think they're going to go up a spot.
That's
They'll
valid.
have home court first round.
That's valid.
So
That's
who you
valid. I'm going Boston at 1,
Boston at 1?
only because I don't want to put the Nets at 1 and Boston at 2, just like how you did. I'll give Boston the edge just so I'm not doing it the same as you.
Man.
But them and Brooklyn are going to win a lot of games this year, so it's going to be Boston and Brooklyn. We could put them at 1 and 2, and whichever one takes it. You know, for sake of
I mean,
us.
Boston did get Schroeder for cheap,
Yeah.
which is good. I mean, Schroeder, he struggled, but he got for cheap.
And what people are failing to realize is I think this is finally the year that Marcus Smart moves into the starting lineup, and
Marcus Smart has been a baller since college.
I think Marcus Smart is
That's
arguably
just-
one of the best hustle players in the league. And you know me, I'm a super big trash talker, and I love when he gets people going.
Absolutely.
So I'll put them in Brooklyn at 1 and 2, and then I'm gonna put the Hawks at 3. I really like Trae Young. I think they have a good young group there.
Just shoot me in my heart, why don't you? Put a bow and arrow
I'm
through my
sorry.
spinal
I'm
cord.
sorry. I'm not putting the Knicks in my top 5.
Not even in your top 5? That's disrespectful.
Because I'm putting Philly and then the Bulls right there.
You put the Bulls over the Knicks?
Yes.
And okay. We got proof. Okay. All right. We're going to end it off here. This is going way longer than we thought. Joey has some news we want to share. Joey's got some things going on.
Halloween night. My brother, my boy, one of my closest friends. I've known him my whole life. He's performing at Stamps on Halloween. I believe the show kicks off at either 7 or 8 o'clock. It's going to be a collective show. It's not like his own show. There'll be a whole bunch of groups there.
He's one of the openers, right?
Yeah, it'll be really good vibes. He is one of the openers. He's going to have either 35 or 45 minutes of stage time.
Shout out to Tony for he's letting us use his equipment as well.
Facts.
This is the laptop. We got the mic here, so
Facts.
shout out to Boz for sure.
So make sure you guys show up for my boy. Come support. It's been a long time coming, but I think he's finally going to start getting some of the fucking recognition that he deserves. We're going to get that fucker on stage and go crazy.
And to get in, Joe, they could either contact you if you're someone who knows us, or you could comment.
Yeah. If you guys
put
need
something
tickets,
in the comments,
yeah.
we can reach out to you.
Yeah,
Get tickets.
I believe there are going to be tickets at the door. It's at Stamps in Tonawanda, or it might be North Tonawanda. If you guys type in Stamps Tonawanda on your Google, it'll probably come up. But I believe they're selling tickets at the door. But if you guys want to get tickets for probably $5 or $10 cheaper beforehand, hit me up. We'll drop the links and everything in the description below.
Yes, sir. Boz, first live performance, right?
Yeah, it's his first one. I think he's gonna go up there and kill it. He's got a whole bunch of new songs, and he's got a couple of songs that aren't new. But I'm gonna try and get his ass to perform them because he's got some archives that are fucking amazing. They just refuses to put them out.
And like I was just telling Boz was here a little while ago. I'm not gonna lie, Joe. You know me. I keep it a buck. I told you about Boz in the last song. When he just showed me, he seemed way more confident.
Yeah.
Like I felt the confidence.
Yeah.
Like in his voice.
Bro, I love it. I love that song.
I think he's really starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely. Hopefully everybody can make it out. Yeah. Boz.
No,
T-Boz.
Swizz can take over here. He's got something he wants to talk about.
So if you don't know, I am now the head coach of the 18U travel baseball team, the Amherst Renegades. We are having our beer blast.
First annual? Is it first annual?
We've had a beer blast here in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but not with me under leadership.
So you're first.
This will be my first one as the head coach. And it's $20 a ticket. It's from 7 to 10 p.m., September 25th. It's the day before a Bills home game, so we're going to be selling Bills squares there. We're going to fill out a board for the Bills game. It's free beer, light and dark beer, and well drinks. You could get mixed drinks, shots. It's all included. I don't know about the shots, but the well drinks for sure. You want to get Jack and Coke, you want to get a little cran vodka. It's included in your ticket for free from 7 to 10.
Come get fucked up.
Come get fucked up. Support the team. There's a good group of men here. I love these boys. They're good people. You know, a lot of them are juniors, seniors in high school, and freshmen in college. We got to keep the cost down for them. All the profits go towards the team. And again, you could, if you know me, contact me directly for a ticket or in the comments, put something in there and we'll get you the information. And square, bro, we did it.
Let's do it, man.
Shout
out Amherst Renegades baseball, everybody. But this was it, man.
Yes, sir.
My boy. Let's do it. All right, we signing off, y'all boys. Have a
See
good
you
night
next week. Yes, sir.